So brothers, let me just give y'all a little insight. This kind of hits home for me just a little bit. I feel that my generation, we have spoiled our children in a bad way. We have we're too big. We're a lot of our children have their hands out, and that's even including mine. So we have to we got to raise our children better. The future needs to raise their children a lot better because we're doing a terrible job. I'm starting to see a lot of these young, as they call themselves, YNs, don't want to work. They hoping that somebody just gives them some money and they want to just keep it moving. And it seems like not my generation, but the generation that we raised. It seems like a lot of the children are lazy, but we have to. But a lot of us parents got to take accountability. Now, when y'all listen to this, I want y'all to look past the fact that this mother has 10 kids. So I want y'all to look past that, even though that's going to be hard to, but I want y'all to look past that. So, but let's go ahead and get in this court case real quick.
This is the plaintiff, Christy Moore Norfleet. She says she's the mother of 10 children, and the defendant, her third oldest, needs to be taught a lesson. She loaned him money for gas. He won't pay her back, and she's at her wit's end with him. She hopes this lawsuit will teach him a valuable lesson in life and how to be a responsible and upstanding citizen. She's suing for $405, the money she's owed.
Brothers, by the way, this woman is 40 years old. This is her third child. This is her third child that she is bringing to court. Keep in mind she has 10 kids, but again, we're gonna look past the 10 kids, but we know that she had a very, very busy life inside that bedroom or wherever she was getting it in. 10 kids. It's a lot of kids. I would love to know how many baby daddies, but let's go ahead and continue.
This is the defendant, Ike Johnson Moore. He says the plaintiff is his mother, and as a mother, it's her duty to give him money for the things he needs to buy. Now, she's turning around and making a federal case out of it and suing him in court? Please. He's accused of making mother mad.
Brothers, you have a lot of children that think like that. But, again, y'all, the parents have to take responsibility. For the commentator to say that the child said that it's the mother's duty to give him what he needs or give him money whenever he asks for it is crazy. Brothers, raise your children right, because they got to go out in the world, and it ain't going to be the same when they at home.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff is suing her son, claiming she loaned him money and he stiffed her. But the defendant says it's her duty to give him money. It's the case of, I'm your mother and you're a mother.
Thank you, Douglas.
welcome,
Christy Moore Norfleet, you are suing Ike Johnson Moore for $405 that you say he owes you. This is your son, right?
Yes.
$405 that you say he owes you and refuses to repay. Tell me what is going on.
Well, Your Honor, it's a long process. My son is my baby. He's one of 10. And
One of 10 what?
children.
You have 10 children?
Yes, ma'am. 5 boys, 5 girls.
How old are you?
I'm 40.
You've been busy.
Yes, I have. And in that being said,
Do they all live with you?
Yes, and that being said, I'm still busy. My son I love him to death. He's 18 though, and I try to pattern my kids a certain way. I bring him to a certain point in life, and I try to get him to be responsible, and I drop him off and let him start from there. I've given my son different things. I buy him clothes. I feed him. He lives with me rent free. He uses my car when he wants.
Does he still live with you?
Yes, and he does pretty much what he wants, but at my expense. It's not a problem taking care of him. It's simply when the excess costs me the liberty of doing the same for his sisters and brothers. As I said, I have 10. I want to care for all of them in the same manner, but
It's hard when you have 10.
and when I do for him, like I'll give him money to do things prosperous, like look for jobs. And he goes to the strip club with his boys with
Why do you
my
keep
money.
giving him money?
Well, that's the point of being here. I'm at the
No, see, you're in control of whether you keep giving him money, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not.
Yes, ma'am.
So I can't make you stop it.
No, that's why I'm here.
For me to make
Now, brothers, I want y'all to notice something. A lot of these single mothers, whenever their child is out of control and the father is not around, they're going to look for somebody else to do it. Most of the time, they're going to either look for a coach, they're going to look for somebody in the church, they're going to look for somebody else to parent because they are at wit's end. They are done. And I'm gonna be honest with you, brothers. Most of these women, once the child turns 13, they don't really have much to teach that child. So I don't know. He could be looking for masculine energy, but he's taking her money that she gives him, and he's going to the strip club at 18. At 18, what up, Big G?
Yeah, Slim. A lot of these women, they curate boyfriend sons, and then they curate a man who they will never date. And it's sad because it's so many single parents and single women raising men to not to be men. And like I said, they're raising them to be men that they will never date.
That is
or
true.
Even marry.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And brothers, he is not really going to be able to function by himself if he leaves the house. But we're going to go ahead and continue because there's some things that the judge says that I disagree with. But let's go ahead and continue.
to make you stop it?
No, I wish it was that simple. I'm here to put my foot down.
It's
really.
simple for you to put your foot down
Yeah.
in your own house.
I'm
You
here
don't
to-
need to be here in order to do it.
Well-
People all across America put their
Well,
foot
the
down.
thing about it is, it's not about me suing him for the money. It's about making
what money are we talking about?
Okay, he was out looking for jobs, and I told him, I have jobs myself. I'm an academic coordinator for exchange students. So I'm gone with my exchange students at times working, and he needs to look for work. I said, you need to find work. You're 18. I gave him $200 up front to find a job, get gas, whatever you need, go back and forth, in interviews. He got a job prospect. They told him he'd come in for an orientation. So I'm assuming he has a job. He does. He got the job. I was told by him he needed slip-resistant shoes because it's a fast food restaurant. I, of course, called the manager to verify because I didn't trust them.
Really?
Yes, I did.
You called the manager to verify that he needed slip-resistant shoes at a fast food place because you didn't trust him?
Yeah,
If you have
yeah.
reached that level of, I'm astounded because you sound so on it, and yet you still gave him money and he went to hookers.
Well, no, that was before. That was before now. This was the last.
Did you say hookers or a strip club?
It was strippers. Because the hooker thing, I don't.
The hooker thing what?
It wasn't the hooker thing. It was strippers. He went to a strip club.
So would you sue your son?
What do you mean it's not the hooker thing? Like, is he also using the money to buy hookers? You can tell that she's very, very relaxed with her son. Way too relaxed. And I know all too well. So, in a way, I know what she's going through. But, brothers, you got to get a hold of your children at an early age. Don't wait until it's too late. Because by then, you're going to be at wit's end. And you're going to want to kick your child out. But let's continue.
What happened this time is I told him I'd help him find work. I'd give him the money, but he had to pay me back. This was something, it was a written promissory note, and he signed it.
Can I see it?
Yes, ma'am. Can't read my writing, probably.
Oh, I will pay my mom back the money she loans me for getting my work items and etc. Did you sign this?
Yes, ma'am. But
Okay, hold on. We're going to get to you in a second. Just hold on. All right, and then go on.
Okay, so like I said, because of the incidents in the past,
What were the incidents in the past?
I mean, a lot of them, he takes.
Well, then why did you give him money? Do you see? We keep going
I
in a circle.
understand, and
Like you understand, when his father gets upset at you or he gets upset at you because you brought it to this level to come to court, you can do that.
Right.
But do you understand that the way if you're the main force in his life, the main parent in his life, just stop it. Like, it'd be, there've been a million times. That's why I keep giving him money. Just stop it, because you sound like you're so weak, and yet you appear like you're not. Well,
Well, the thing about
it's a lot of kids. So
I'm
you,
sorry,
you,
yeah,
you have
well-
some weakness, but
well, Your Honor,
when you stand there and you tell me, it's happened a million times and I don't trust him, so I'm actually calling his boss. Wow, that had to go over well. You get the mommy calls the boss to find out if it's true that he needs shoes. It's like insanity. Just stop the insanity and stop giving him money.
Yeah.
What's going on with you?
well, Your Honor, in my defense, I never technically asked her for the money. She helped me find a job and things like that. But in the same sense, I never asked her for the loan. Like, she offered me the money and kind of insisted it to me.
And said you had to pay her back?
See, that doesn't even make any sense. She just out the blue just offered you some money. Come on, bro. I don't care how young you are. Even look, man, you got to take accountability. And you know what, brothers? This is where it comes to when you start seeing men living under women. This is the type of boy that will be living under a woman and ain't doing shit, playing video games, and the woman is going to work because because that's what he did with his mother. So I don't know where his father is at, but I'm just going to assume that his father is not really in his life or probably barely there. So there's no masculine energy going with him. He's just hanging with his boys, having fun. He's 18, probably going to have him work at a fast food restaurant. Nothing wrong with that if that's something. I ain't gonna lie to you, brothers. I look at fast food restaurants as for high schoolers. I don't unless you're a manager. Then maybe. But I don't think no grown man should be working at no fast food restaurant talking about welcome to McDonald's, may I please help you? Nah. Unless you really down on your luck. Yes, sir.
So she is constantly giving him money, but constantly upset about what he's not, that he's not productive with it. How does it go from I'm consistently giving you something that I know is not beneficial and I'm losing money, but then you go straight to court, I'm just trying to, as a parent, I want to know, how does it go from you, he's basically complaining about what he's not doing, but she's giving him money, and then today, how do you ever expect a young man to take it serious if up until now she was letting him get away with whatever? How do you do you think this is going to teach him a lesson by just now you're just going to do something like this after all this time? I mean, the man was going to strip clubs and she knew about it and still giving him money.
I don't think this is going to help. The judge is going to say something and I kind of disagree with it, but this is when I'm gonna say this. When I hear other people say let kids be kids, and then when the child turns 18, all of a sudden now you wanna try to make him become an adult. It's too late. Y'all brothers, y'all should be, and that's even including myself. We should be trying to get our kids prepared for adulthood before they become an adult. Don't wait until they're 18. What's up, BG? Go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, I believe the young man. I believe that she was continue getting money. He didn't even ask for it. Because black mom, especially black mamas, they'll do that. I know a black girl whose son she let him smoke weed in the garage with his friends, and then she bought him a PlayStation 5 for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And then she complained about why he not up finding a job. you allow him to smoke weed in your house, and then you gave him a PlayStation 5. What do you think he'll do? So women, like I said, they'll make their sons their enemies, and then complain, be like, "Why you not being productive?"
Right.
Because they spoiling them, and it happens a lot. You can always tell, like, grown men when they get older and they unsuccessful in life and they broke down, but they used to have all the nice shoes in high school. They used to be the it dude because their mamas took care of them. And when they became men, they were so reliant on her and her funds that they didn't know how to be productive as men. So,
Right.
yep.
Well, brother, let's go ahead and continue with this.
But before the promissory note ever came about, she had already done lent me the money. Like, this was after the fact.
So I think what you're trying to say is that she gave you the money and then after that decided you had to pay her back?
Yes, that's when the...
Okay, but you signed this, right? So that kind of sounds like you knew, because this says I will pay her back the money she loans me, present tense, for my work item.
And then again, see, me and my mom, we joke around a lot. So, like, at the moment, I was thinking it was something as if like a joke, and I kind of did it just to basically get off my back.
Oh, that'll teach you. So
Y'all heard that? Now, and there's nothing wrong with you joking with your parents, but she probably treated her son like a friend, and you don't do that. So, of course, he's not going to take his mother seriously. And I've seen that happen already. You have a lot of these parents, men and dads and moms that would treat their children like like their friends. I've actually witnessed it once where I saw a mother and the daughter in the club. She turned 18, took her to the club. I was shocked. But it was all gravy for them. But of course, there was no father around. So you can't be your friend. You can't be friends with your child. Maybe when they become an adult, I would probably say maybe 21 or 22. And I'm not going to even say friends, because you still got to honor your parents at the end of the day and respect them. But it'll be different once you become an adult. But as a child, nah. You can't be no friends with your child. And I see that. I'm telling you, I'm starting to see a lot of that. But again, my generation, we gotta take accountability for that, because the generation that we raised, we didn't raise them right, and I could take accountability for that, because there were things that my parents didn't get me, and I remember telling my dad that oh yeah, you know what, Dad, you didn't get me anything. I'm gonna make sure and get my kids almost whatever they want, and I regret it. My dad even told me that, oh, you're gonna regret what you just said, and sure enough, he was absolutely correct, 100% correct. I should have listened to my dad, and I still love my kids, but both of my children are hella spoiled. But let's go ahead and continue.
now let me just ask you a question. I'm trying to put myself in your shoes. You're living in her house still, rent free. Your mom tells you need to pay me back, and you don't. You do other stuff with the money. You went on his Facebook account, right?
Yes.
Okay. And
it wasn't just didn't go like snooping, but
first of all, you got the perfect right to snoop. So I'm not sure what you're saying. You live in my house. I know what you're up to. That's my theory on men, children, everything. Go ahead.
My daughter was like, "Ma, did you see what Tiny, because that's what we call him, put on his page?" And I was like, "No, what did he put on his page?" Because sometimes he posts some crazy stuff. So I went on his page to see, and he had, "It ain't tricking if you got it."
What's that mean?
Can you ask him?
I'm worried about what's going to come out of his mouth. What does that mean, Tiny?
It's a song lyric.
But what does it mean? What does the song mean?
How can I put this?
Just put it the way it goes.
We'll clean it up later.
Okay. You can spend money if you have it, basically.
Okay, and
my response was, "You don't." have it.
Right. Well, he does have it because you gave it to him, right? So there's the rub. All right, so you tell your mother you're going to pay her back, and you make absolutely no effort to pay her a penny back? Aren't you worried she's going to kick you out? Why don't you just kick him out instead of sue him? I mean, see, there's so many things I don't understand about you. Why are you making me parent for you? I'm a mother. I know it's tough. Like other parents might have said, either you pay me back and you do what you're supposed to be doing, or you go pay rent and you'll see what I'm providing you with. I mean, something, and none of that happens. Instead, you go to court and let him continue to live with you. I think there's no time like the present for him to find out. If he wants to play like he's a man, then he needs to be a man fully, Tiny. Time for you to go. It's time for Tiny to go. And you're just a hypocrite if you don't make him go.
Bruh, look, kicking him out ain't gonna fix the situation. I promise you, brother, kicking your child out the house is not going to fix this situation. It might actually get worse. Because if you didn't teach your child about adulthood, about paying bills, about what it is to be an adult, he's not going to make it. He or she is not going to make it. I hate to say this, my son is going through it right now. And that's real. He's going through it right now because now he realized he ain't got no money, he ain't got no job, and because I told him the only other option he got now is the military, which is something that he don't want to do, he has to go to the recruiter. With the city that I live in, 22. The city that I live in, it ain't job friendly out there. It's all about, really, to be honest with you, it's about who you know. Especially if if you know anybody that works on the military base, you'll get in good. But living in the city that I live in, you got to go to another city to get a better job. You got to go out to like the major cities, Raleigh, Charlotte. Where I live at, trash. So now he has no other choice but to go join the military. So now he's just figuring out which branch he wants to join. So
and that came from you, and that came from you spoiling him.
Yeah, I take responsibility for spoiling him and his mother.
Mm-hmm.
But his mother made it really bad because I didn't want the stuff that he used to ask me for. I wouldn't get it for him. I didn't care because I felt like he needed to work for it, not just give it to him. And that's how. And because his mother was always giving him stuff, when I said no, she would go behind my back and get it for him. He was so used to his mother. Now his mother doesn't want to give him anything. So now he has a grudge against his mother. He ain't got no grudge against me because he already knew I was going to say no anyway. He knew he don't even come and ask me for anything. Sometimes he'll get his sister to ask me to see if he could get something from me, and usually it's always no anyway. So look, I have no problem put my issue out there, whatever, my issue. But brothers, don't just take it from me. Get your child, raise him right. Especially you men. You men need to be in your son's life. Very important. Because the only thing that's gonna happen to this kid, he's gonna be living under some woman, and then he's gonna get kicked out with his Jordans in a trash bag.
Or if you continue to give him you can't really mean it that you want him to grow up.
He has a dorm room ready in January.
Well, let's see if he goes.
May I cut you off, Your Honor?
May you cut me off? No, but you can interject. Go ahead.
Okay, my mom, she does provide a roof over my head and food for me to eat. But for the most part, since I was like about 17 to 18, like...
Well, that's what you are now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Up to the present since I was like 17, like clothes-wise and stuff like that. For the most part, I tend to get those things on my own. Like, don't get me wrong, I ain't necessarily be asking her for anything, but if someone insists on giving me something, I'm not gonna say no to it.
Well, here's the thing. She says that she gave it to you with a specific condition. I have you signing this, and then apparently you have a second promissory note?
Yes.
You signed that, so twice you say, I'm gonna pay you back, but I should just believe you and not my lying eyes? Do me a favor. I may not agree that she should have brought you to court. I may not agree that that's the best way to parent you. You don't want my parenting. Because if I give you money for work boots or for something and you're spending it on something else, A, I give you no more money, and B, if you don't pay me back what you agreed you were gonna pay back, you're gonna find yourself paying the landlord some rent so you can feel what it's like. So trust me, that there is much nicer to you than I would be. I don't get it, okay? But I don't get you either. But if you do wanna be a good mom, then put your money where your mouth is and not in his pocket for the stripper. Got it? $405 verdict for the plaintiff based on your own 2 promissory notes.
Brothers, it should never go this far to where somebody else has to tell you how to be a parent. Should never go this far. Never. But let's see the outro real quick.
All right, Tiny, come on in here and tell us what you've learned here.
I learned that if someone offers you some money and it's a promise,
Someone? What about the way you're treating your mom?
I'm gonna try to think about my actions before.
Brothers, he ain't learned nothing. He ain't learned a damn thing. And I would love to see what would happen. I would love to see what would be going on like later. Don't be surprised if you hear about this guy. He's living with someone. He's living under a woman. This is why a lot of these men are living under women, because they're raised by single mothers. And I don't even understand how any man could live under a woman and sit right there while the woman is going to work. I'm not sure if that's going to happen to him. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't understand how men can do that. And I don't even know if I should even call them men. I'll just call them males. But I'm not going to call no man unless he's down on his luck and he's actually getting his shit together. But I could not live under a woman where she's taking care of me and I'm not working. The only way that would happen, even matter of fact, I wouldn't even want that to happen. But I'm retired, well, military retired. But if I already knew that money was coming in, yeah, but I'd be helping a woman out. Maybe at my age, but nah, not at no 17, 18, 19. But let's see what else we got going on.
Before.
You want to say anything to her before you head out right here, right now?
I'm sorry, and I'm gonna try to get you all the money back that you gave to me.
Okay. All right, Tiny. All right, head right down this way. All right, there he goes, right around the corner there. What are you feeling right now?
Just a little hurt. And the judge made a point. I keep doing it, but I have 10 kids and I've done the same.
That's the excuse or what?
It's not an excuse. I've done the same thing for all of my children. I give
Has
them
he seen
money.
his last money from you?
Yeah, he has.
And when he turned to you and apologized and what did he said to you just now, you believe him?
We'll see.
All right, Harvey?
You know, the fact that she got him to sign a promissory.
Well, brother, that's pretty much it. Raise your children, brothers. Get your children. I don't care what anybody says. Most of these mothers don't really have much to teach their child after 13 years old. They really don't. So that's pretty much it. Peace.